Hi all, Hipper here. Today is Wichita Day and I'm taking her out using the Shelly Beebley setup here that I always use, which is an agile setup. And I have Azure Lane Baltimore and Müller as inspirations, and all the perks are of course just the rudder and speed. So I just love having this spawn here in Wichita because all the small islands here around Sea Cap, they're just perfect for forcing your way deep into the enemy setup. Usually that is, and that happens in this game here. It's a lot of fun. It's a island, well, hopping, I guess, and obviously an agile Wichita is really well suited for this. The only problem is that you don't have torpedoes on this ship here, which is a good thing because it's already way too powerful as it is. But that's just one thing to keep in mind when you are pushing into the enemy like I will be doing here. It is that you need to be aware of the distance and how many they are and where they are, because you don't want someone challenging you like a battleship simply moving in, at least in a way you haven't thought of beforehand, because you don't have torpedoes to get you out of a sticky situation. So if the enemy team allows me, I am always ruthlessly pushing in, especially in Wichita or Hipper or any cruiser that is quite a good bow tanker, and it creates a lot of well, exciting situations, and it catches the enemies off guard a lot of times. So here I'm just putting my radar on. I just want to check if there's a destroyer in here, because I saw the cap was being challenged. So that means that I now know where the enemies are. So I just have to set up my attack accordingly. And this Atlanta here is my primary target, because I really don't like them. And a bit of armor piercing at him, and that should do the trick here. But what I'm really going for is the destroyer, because he is stuck behind that island now, and I'm just using this island here as a quick stop here. Like I said before, I'm going to be a little bit of island hopping here, and that's a really good strategy, especially in a quick agile cruiser. So just taking a breather here. So I've used my radar, and I don't have a sonar in this game here because I've gone for an anti-CV build, and of course there's no CV in the match when you do that. So it's really, and that's pretty much a rule. If you remove your sonar, you will get into battles without carriers in them. That's just the way it is. So the only thing I can do is to get within range of guaranteed acquisition of this destroyer here, which is 2 kilometers, and then at least I know what he's up to. So this is a bad situation for this Akatsuki here. He is caught. He has no way of capping and no way of escaping. And I'm just going to sit here and see what he ends up doing. So this Akatsuki and I here, we're going to have a little bit of a duel here, because the first one to make a mistake is dead. It's pretty much as simple as that. And I have to worry about that Iowa there in the background. So that's why I'm not just rushing around the corner yet. I just want to see if I can get him to fire off some torps first. So at least he's a little bit more defenseless, because he's not giving up this cap, as you can see. He is determined to stick it out, and that's admirable, and I like that, and it makes this fight more interesting. So I did that on purpose. I reversed out so he fell off detection, because that means I fall off detection as well. And then I was hoping that he would make a move, but he didn't. He was too clever for that. So I was going to go around and attack him, but then the Iowa comes out to support him. So I think again about that. And luckily now DD at B is able to actually fire at the destroyer, so that I'm thinking that he's probably going to flush him out sooner or later, because if he does nothing, he'll just sink. So just making sure that he'll keep the fire on him, and then I'm thinking that he's gonna go to the right around this rock, which is why I'm getting into position here. And just making sure I'm not going to eat a lot of torps here. I just want to be able to sink him and not having to eat like a bunch of torps at the same time. So I just get the kill there. I didn't do all the damage, but I did catch him in this unfortunate situation, so I think it's fair enough. So now we have to worry about the Iowa here, and without torps, that is a bit of a problem. But the thing is, with these battleships here, like his guns are pointed my way now, so if I can get behind him and on his other side, that means he'll have to turn his guns all the way to be able to hit me, and that is just something that takes a long time. So that's my plan. I usually do this with the French battleships, Jean Bart and Richelieu, because they haven't even got a single turret in the back, they only have secondaries. So getting into this position here on a Jean Bart, you can pretty much just pound him all day long. There's nothing is going to hurt you except for the secondaries, and it's not really much of a threat. So this way we can just sit here 1.5 kilometers behind him and just absolutely pummel that superstructure there. And again, I'm lucky here. Let's get the last shot in, and the kill is mine. So that was a C cap here taken care of, and I can see that my teammates had taken B, and the guys over here at C did a really good job. We worked really well together here. It's really nice to see when that happens. I really like it. So now I'm not really too keen on pushing on A. I just want to defend B. Because there's still a lot of enemies left, and it's not like we are outnumbering them totally. So it's better to play it safe. Just wait for them to come in range, and well, still push ahead a little bit, but not a lot further than the beginning of B cap. Because all we really have to do now is defend B, and we'll win this battle.
Teammate, I need your support.
So there's 3 battleships left. So this will be a lot of, well, burning battleships, because like I said, there's no torpedoes on this cruiser here, so the only, well, reasonable way to deal with battleships is with high explosives. Unless you were really close to the battleship, like I was before with the Iowa, where you can just hammer it with AP in the superstructure. Of course you can do that from afar as well, but it hurts more when you're up close. Now, a Wichita or an Ochakov that is shooting HE from a distance and wiggling and dancing, trying not to get hit, is probably one of the most annoying things in this game here, I think. And now, obviously, I'm going to do that myself, because, well, when you play Wichita, that is what you do, at least if you have an agile build, because Wichita is just so good at well, just dancing around battleship shells. And same thing about Ochakov. Actually, Ochakov is not that good at avoiding the shots. It just happens to have a lot more overpens than even Wichita. And Wichita also has a lot of overpens. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Ochakov. I think Wichita is not overpowered, but it is it's right on the line. While on the other hand, I do think Ochakov is a little bit too strong. I think it sets too many fires. I think its radar is too strong. I think it it's so hard to citadel that ship, and I think that's that promotes bad play, where people just go broadside in a cruiser, and you should get punished for that, and you don't get punished in Ochakov, and also not as much as you should in Wichita as well. So I don't like it. I don't know why Wargaming has chosen that like overpens in Ochakov especially is such a common occurrence. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, once in a while you shouldn't get like a citadel hit all the time, obviously, but sometimes it seems that like the citadels are just non-existing, and that just it takes a little bit of the fun out of the game, I think. When you're setting up a perfect shot and you have all 9 guns on target, and you really were supposed to get a one-shot kill there with 5 or 6 citadels, and you get like overpins instead. It's just... Anyway, it is battleship farming time, and we don't have to worry about overpins here because I'm gonna go pretty much exclusively HE here on this poor Colorado, because he's just sitting there in the water doing absolutely nothing. And then now I can see on Ingenious that he has taken an interest in me. Of course I could see that on the guns turning as well. So that also coincides with getting into the sweet spot of around 11-12 kilometers away from the battleships. At this range you are more likely to hit, and you're still agile enough to avoid shots, especially from tier 6 battleships. As you can see, there is not really a problem. I don't see the need to play cruisers from max distance of 18 kilometers or 20 for some of them, or 21 even for I believe the Russians, and Hipper can also have like an extreme range. I think cruisers work best between 12 to 14 kilometers from the enemy, and that's why I never have extra range on my cruisers, and same thing with reload. I don't think it's worth it. And the reason I always go for agile builds on any ship where it works, pretty much with any cruiser where it works, is that you can just extend your life so much more than if you just go for a normal build. Yes, you're giving up a little bit of DPM, but really it is marginal. And speed and rudder is always useful. You're never shooting your guns constantly in this game. If you're lucky, you'll be shooting them about 25% of the time in all. And really, if you have like 10% faster reload, it means you get off 1, maybe 2 salvos more if you shoot constantly. So yeah, it's a little bit ridiculous, in my opinion, to spec that much into reload on a cruiser. On battleships it makes sense, yeah, but on cruisers, no, I don't think so. There are better ways of making your cruiser a nightmare for the enemy. So we've nearly farmed 50,000 damage off this Colorado here, because there's nothing else to do really. And as soon as the Cleveland is in range, I'm going to annoy him to make sure he turns this way instead of trying to take on Cap B, because there's still 2 minutes left. He could potentially take it. We would still win on points unless something went really wrong, but we only have 2 ships left. So I just want to make sure that we don't lose this battle here. So that's why I don't just stop firing and go away and wait, because I think it's still a little bit too dicey at the moment, especially since I just lost my North Carolina there. So to get this guy out of the way. Luckily he just finished off the Colorado before he died, which was lucky. So I got the Cleveland there, and we are way ahead on points. And I'm not getting too close to him, because the closer you get to a Cleveland, like the more accurate that thing gets. So I'm just going to make sure he knows that I've spotted him, and then I'm just going to turn around and then give him an annoying shot to make him follow me, and that'll be the end of it, pretty much, this battle here. There's no need to really push in or attack him or anything like that. I'm the last ship left, so I shouldn't jeopardize myself more than I have to. But as you can see, I've only lost 5,000 health this battle here, and I'm up nearly 120,000. So if I had to duke it out for this Cleveland here, I could, wouldn't be a problem. And as you can see, as long as you stay 11 to 12 kilometers away from a Cleveland, those slow shells there are quite easy to avoid. As soon as you get closer than 11 or 10 kilometers, you are in like DPM hell. And if you're not in another Cleveland yourself, then you better watch out. So with 20 seconds left, if there was more time left, I would probably just go dark now and just wait for the time to run out, because this Cleveland is getting a little bit too close now. But the time is running out, so there's not really anything to worry about here. So that was a pretty standard Wichita battle, nothing special, nothing particularly wild, other than like a little destroyer duel there in the beginning, which I thought was fun. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you out there.